Hello and welcome to another episode of The Pod Well Travelled. I'm Penny Thomas and I'm a travel writer here at the West Australian newspaper. Today in the studio I am with the very familiar Stephen Scourfield, who is the travel editor here at the West, and another familiar voice that I'm sure everyone's very used to is Yeoman. Welcome.
Hello, it's great to be back in the studio. Lovely to see you, Penny, and lovely to see you too, Stephen.
It's nice to see you, Will. Will, of course, was with us for years and years and years and years, and he's still with us emotionally.
I will always be with you.
If not physically, yeah. Will, of course, now is the Chief Executive of Writing WA, but still part of the family, and back for a good reason this morning. Penny, I'll leave you to explain that.
Yes, we've brought Will back in because we're here to announce a change of tack. We're going with the Pod Well Travelled, and it's actually quite exciting because we're just sort of changing the direction slightly, but it's still going to be something that I'm sure all of our listeners will continue to enjoy and get a lot out of. The best way to put it is we're going to be doing some sort of specialised editions from here on out, where we'll sort of focus in on different locations and people and writers and what's going on in a particular area, city. It could be international as well, and also around Australia. So I guess, Stephen, you might want to add.
Yeah, I think the two things to look out for will be the travel guides. So our first plan is for Penny will be doing a Japan guide, and we'll invite lots of specialists onto this new format. So there'll be phone calls with people who've lived in Japan, who shape and design tours in Japan and so on. So real specialists on the ground, insiders. So that'll be the travel guides, and then the special episodes will be, I guess, more responsive to things that happen. While we're out and about, if we're meeting people, collecting stories, that may just naturally turn into a special episode in Africa or in Arnhem Land, or if Michael Ferranti, our cruise writer, is there at the building of a new ship. He might be talking to marine architects and this and that, and we're just going to really go with the flow on those special eps, and it'll be more international. Although we're based in Perth, we're out in the world pretty much all the time, so reflecting that as well. Penny drives the Pod Well Travel now, but Will did for 150, 60, 70 episodes. So really acknowledging, all the energy and care you put
thank
into
you. It was quite an adventure. And I still recall the early days when we were just, playing with tech and figuring out, how we're going to do this. And it took a little bit of time, didn't it, until we settled on something that, as listeners hopefully can hear and have heard for the last few months, is amazing.
Exactly right. And Will, you were the person who really pushed through with that tech and just got us settled into a rhythm of with quality.
It's been lovely.
We learned to. We've got our own little setup here, and we learned how to get consistency to it.
I don't think you can improve on it. Well, thank you for that acknowledgement. I think it was very much a team effort, though. But look, going back to what you're saying about the specials, the guides, and so forth, I like to think we have already been doing that occasionally. We've listeners will know we've presented various specials, including spoken word and music performance pieces by you, Stephen, which are partly based on the amazing round the world dinners that we have here at West Travel Club.
Yeah, exactly right. We've had a lot of Steve Richter's music involved in some of those, and they did very well, those episodes. So yes, we're also, I guess we're learning the lesson from that too, is that sometimes a musical word performance or an in-depth interview with someone, we'll just go with what feels good at the
Absolutely.
time.
And it's worth mentioning that too, because that's the kind of thing that listeners can expect from here on in.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all over to you, Penny, to keep the energy going.
Thank you.
No pressure.
No pressure. So thanks, Will, for all you've done with Pod Well Travelled.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to anyone who's listening to this. Thanks for sticking with us. Don't unsubscribe, because it's not the end of the Pod Well Travel. It's a new and I hope energetic and responsive
it's a renaissance.
Period.
It's a rebirth.
Renaissance.
Yes,
Fantastic.
Because
Good
I
word.
think you certainly are a Renaissance man, and the rest of the team here. Renaissance persons, I should say.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely.
Indeed.
And so having Penny's energy there is really Penergy is a new word.
I like that. I was going to say, that's actually, I really like that. Penergy.
There's a bit of shorthand there.
It's a new introduction to the English
penny
language.
energy, yeah. Penny energy.
It's a portmanteau word. Yeah,
so
fantastic.
over to you, Penny, and let's get it going.
Thank you. And very excited to bring my Penergy to the next couple of episodes.
The pod is in safe hands.
The pod's in safe hands. Long live the pod.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank
we'll
you.
speak soon.
Bye now.